Hey, what's going on, folks? How y'all doing? Hey, it's Friday, August 1st. How about that? And I'm not even going to complain about it. Not a bit. I ain't going to complain. You know what? I'm going to get a whole new attitude about the way time is moving. Time is moving so damn fast that, you know, I just can't say nothing. Time is just really chugging along. And I ain't going to be mad about it. I think I'm just going to start enjoying it and calling it good. I'm going to enjoy every, opportunity, every minute. Just try and enjoy it. So, every time previously, before this particular moment, actually, right at the moment that I looked down at the date and I realized, that I had been really getting upset that summer is moving so fast. And hey, guess what? That's what summer does. So why am I getting all upset? And winter moves slow as hell. I am going to have to try and find out a way to enjoy winter. There are people that enjoy winter. I am not one of them, but I'm going to have to find a way to enjoy winter. I'll figure something out because I'm damn sure not going to have very much summer left. Anyway, y'all know that I like to start these things off with public service announcements. And I do have one, and I'm going to play it right now. And this public service announcement, PSA for short, is be careful who you put your hands on. Okay? Be careful who you put your hands on. Check it out.
Bitch, I'm just never your motherfucking life, ho. Put your hands on me. Don't never put your hands on me. On my motherfucking mama, you got me fucked up. Don't you never, ho. Fuck wrong with you. Get me off this motherfucking bus. Touch me, ho. Wait. I beat your ass like you stole something, bitch. Put your hands on me, ho. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up on this bus. You don't love me like that. Don't put your hands on me, ho. Fuck your mouth, bitch. Bleed out. Die, ho.
Put your hands on me, nigga. What I tell you, huh? What I tell you? You gonna fuck with me? Bitch. Now that's the end of it. Now get the fuck up. Knock your ass out here, bitch.
Like I said, be careful who you put your hands on. Let's calm down out there. Let's not go pushing folks and touching folks and shit like that. Because somebody might hand you your hat. So we'll see. Public service announcement for the day. And I got another one that I want to pull up here and I thought was interesting. Let me see if I can pull this up right quick because I thought, again, another public service announcement. Let's try this one right here. Check this out. We're gonna pull this one up and see how it goes. This is from a restaurant worker One guy bit off a little bit more than he could chew, I believe, as it went. Let's see. Oh, hey, James, what's happening, man? How you doing? Hey, what's up, Charles? Glad you can hang out, man. From a restaurant. You know what? I forgot where it was at. Maybe they'll mention it. But another public service announcement about putting your hands on folks.
Looking for the man who attacked a young restaurant worker. The man bit that worker 6 times. You can see some of the wounds there. Reg Chapman spoke to that teenager in downtown Minneapolis for a story you'll see only on WCCO.
Are the egg rolls and the chicken Vietnamese salad?
19-year-old Jazariah Sheldon has worked at the Lotus since he was 16.
Every day I work here, I don't really think of it as like a job. I've known the family since I was like 13.
What he never expected was to be attacked while taking out the garbage. Video from a store nearby shows the confrontation.
When I walked past him for the first time, he said something along the lines of, "What are you doing here, suburb boy?"
Jazariah says there were several people standing by watching as a man continued to verbally attack him.
There was a lady watching. She watched everything happen. And he looks at the lady and he goes, "Watch what I'm about to do to this B word." And then that's when he starts pushing me up against the window. And then that's when it turned into self-defense.
Jazariah studies jiu-jitsu. He used those skills and what he learned as a high school wrestler to fight back.
Every time I would pick him up and have him in the air, he was what, like 6'2"? So he has a lot of room. He would latch onto my shoulder while I was taking him down. And every time I had him on the ground, he would bite my chest.
Bystanders pulled Jazariah off the attacker, and when he tried to walk away, he kept coming for him. He was bitten 6 times on his shoulder, his back, and his arm.
He got his whole mouth on there.
Got his whole mouth on there, yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the guy, bit off more than he can chew, so.
Lotus co-owner Yum Nguyen says his family has seen the neighborhood change since they opened in 1984.
I think safety is a huge issue here in Minneapolis. People don't tend to come out anymore to go dine out, to go eat, because they don't feel safe. I think that's the biggest thing.
He wants more patrols in the area, but understands why police response is limited.
Yeah, they need more help. The guys are just short-staffed, and there's only so much they can do.
Nguyen hopes neighbors use their power of presence to keep the area safer.
I've always believed if more people came out, more people from the neighborhood, it tends to shoo away the bad people.
With photojournalist Chris Cruz, Reg Chapman, WCCO News.
Please.
All right. So, my man bit off a little bit more than he could chew, huh? Yeah, well, that's what happens when you go to putting your hands on folks. The man must have started beating him till he couldn't do nothing but bite. I would be embarrassed if I made the news because I picked on somebody and they started beating my ass to the point where I had to start biting them. Okay? If I had to start biting, that's pretty sad. If I got to start biting, and people gonna know who it is. Somebody gonna see that video and know who it is. And that is gonna be something else. They gonna dog him out, I bet. I bet they gonna dog him out. I know I would. For sure. I would definitely do that. So, like I said, public service announcement. Don't be out there touching on fucks. Just don't do it. Don't be out there touching on folks. So, he was a big dude too. Yeah, that is more embarrassing. You was actually bigger than him. And what's so sad about it? Why you picking on a dude that's just emptying the garbage? You can't even rob the dude. You just picking on somebody because they emptying the garbage or because they got a job at the restaurant. He said he called him suburb boy or something like that. What's that all about? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I know one thing, though. He'll think twice next time. I bet you he didn't mean, and when he was talking to the lady, watch what I do to him. I bet you he didn't mean, watch me bite this dude. I bet you he didn't mean, hey, watch me bite this sucker. Watch me bite him all over his back. Now, I got to tell you something. I've heard things about people, guys that bite other guys in the back. I'm just saying. Of course, that wasn't during the a time when you're getting your ass kicked. So how's it going, y'all? Everybody good? It's Friday. I was just ranting a second ago about how I am typically getting upset about the fact that the summer is going so fast. But I'm going to stop ranting about that. I'm going to stop letting it affect me so bad. Now, everybody that knows me knows I hate winter. I got to start figuring out how to make winter work. And I said this last winter, and I didn't do it. I let it do to me what it always does. I'm going to work on it this time. Because, hey, it's August 1st. So I got to start planning something for the winter. And, hey, prices of stuff will start going down too. So that'll be good. Anywho, okay. I'm going to talk about something that has perplexed me for the last few months. Okay, what's this? August. For July, June, and May. No. For May, June, April, May, and June. April, May, and June. If y'all recall, around May, I said there's something going on with this economy. Around May, I was saying that the tariff situation, the way he put the tariffs on, then took them off, then put them back on, then took them off, and put them back on these people, took them off those people, put them on those people, took them off them. The way the tariff thing was going on, there was something disconnected with the stock market and the economy. The stock market and the economy acted as if nothing was going on. Now, I understand the stock market. Once the stock market, the big-time investors realized he would take the tariffs off and then put them back on, then he'd get to a certain date when, the line he drew in the sand wasn't worth a damn. Once the stock market realized, oh, this guy ain't shit, they start calling him Taco. Y'all remember? What was Taco stood for? I can't remember what it stood for. It was tariffs. Tariffs? Tariffs something. Oh, no. It was, it wasn't tariffs. It was Trump always chickens out. Yeah, that's what they started calling him Taco. Because when it came to the tariffs, when it got to the deadline, he always chickened out. Just like now. He's talking about, now today, some tariffs were supposed to hit countries. Now he's talking about maybe postponing it till Thursday. Here we go again. Trump always chickens out. Taco. Yeah. So, the reason I bring this up is because there was something wrong. Every time they announced the job numbers, it was as if employers wasn't paying any attention, and that had me scratching my head. And I could not believe that people were still hiring. How can you be hiring and you don't know what this guy's going to do tariff-wise? And they were announcing 147,000 jobs, And I'm like, what? How are they hiring that many people with the tariff situation that it is? Now, the stock market, I knew they brushed it off after that first nosedive, and he went back on the tariff deal. They brushed it off. That's when they started calling him Taco. He always gonna chicken out. We ain't got to worry about him. Every time he holler tariffs, that don't mean nothing. We can go and make this money. That's how the stock market works. But this guy, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking at the numbers. The job numbers just ain't jobbing. What's going on? Who could be doing this kind of hiring in an environment that you don't know what your product line, how your product line is going to suffer? Whatever that product line is, whatever you do. If you're a manufacturer, tariffs is going to affect your bottom line. You can't be out there hiring out crazy, et cetera, et cetera. Well, as would have it, today, there was an announcement today, and by golly, it all came clear. Listen to the report that I heard this morning that blew me away. Remember, May and June, I'm scratching my head. How can companies be hiring all these people? It just doesn't make sense. Listen to this report.
This morning, economic news, brand new jobs numbers just out. You can see them behind me. In July, the U.S. added just 73,000 new jobs, below expectations, the unemployment rate at 4.2%. But the big news, really big news, major revisions for May and June, major downward revisions. Those months much, much worse than thought, really making them two of the weakest months since the pandemic. Let's get right to CNN's Zane Asher for the latest on this. What are you seeing, Zane?
John, I don't know what to say. I mean, this number is bad. You mentioned the downward revisions, but if you look at this number, 73,000 jobs added compared to 115,000 that was expected. And you have to remember that in order for us not to be in the danger zone in this economy, the economy should be chugging along at least 100,000 jobs every month. The fact that this is below that is significant. You have to go back to October last year to find a worse number. As you mentioned, the downward revisions are really problematic. We're talking about June being 14,000 instead of 147,000.
That's a huge discrepancy.
That is huge. And then you think about May coming in at 19,000. And a lot of the economists that I've been speaking to have been warning me that, look, when you start laying off the people whose very job it is to actually collect the data, that is likely at some point going to show up in the numbers. And the discrepancies is really what concerns me. I do want to talk about some of the specific sectors. I'll start with some of the positive numbers that we got. As we've spoken about time and time again, a lot of the jobs growth has been driven by healthcare, right? This is a care economy. You have an aging population. That seems to be doing relatively fine. Part of the problem, and what I find really problematic, and I'm waiting for Trump to post on Truth Social about these numbers, and wondering what he's going to say about Jerome Powell and the Fed needing to cut rates. But when you think about manufacturing is the one sector that the Trump administration has said that they want to help. That this whole sort of tariff game is about helping that sector. That sector is losing jobs by the minute. When you think about the fact that factories are not able to import raw materials, that you have factories in this country that are sitting idle, that factories are laying people off, and you have at least 11,000 jobs being lost in manufacturing, that's a problem. Construction is another sector. That's sort of, 2,000 jobs added. I mean, that's sort of relatively lukewarm here. You're not seeing much movement in construction. That's a sector that is definitely dependent on immigration. And when you have the fact that a lot of people in this country who are immigrants, who are from elsewhere, are scared to show up to building sites. That's also a problem as well. We're seeing wages in construction actually soar and activity go down as well. Retail as a sector was okay, added about 15,000 jobs, sort of chugging along. Retail has obviously been problematic because of a little-known company known as Amazon, but also retail is heavily dependent on tariffs as well. I'm really curious about what Jerome Powell is going to say, not just because of the headline number, because it's not really just about the headline number, as you know, John. It is really about, A, what is beneath the hood, but also these down revisions, which tell you that when I came on here last month telling you, the economy is resilient, that wasn't actually the case because of these downward revisions.
If we can get that other board up, because that's the one that actually tells the story. When you see job growth from month to month of 14,000, 19,000, and then in the 70s, hopefully that can come back up, because that's the news here. You've got three anemic months of jobs growth. Put that side by side with this new announcement that came overnight of these tariffs, which may or may not go into effect. See, right here, this is the news.
This is
you
the
look
news.
at this. These are, and I'll just walk around. These are two of the weakest months we've seen since 2020. 14,000, 19,000. Those are very, very weak numbers. And it's also just statistically, and for those who keep track of things, way off from what they said before. But if you look at a 3-month stretch like this, you say, wait a second, we've got an economy that's got some real challenges.
That's got a lot of work to do. And when you think about the fact that Liberation Day, April 2nd rather, Liberation Day, we were sort of wondering when we were going to see the effects of these tariffs on the labour market. And you and I were talking about the fact that, wow, we haven't actually seen it yet. Well, we did see it. It just wasn't reflected in the numbers. 19,000, as you point out, 14,000 jobs added in June. Clearly, it was having an impact. People were not hiring. You had so much uncertainty in this economy where employers just didn't feel comfortable actually hiring. And I'm wondering what Jerome Powell is actually going to do. He talked about just this idea of being data dependent. And now we're seeing the data really showing some kind of indication that these tariffs are absolutely having an effect now. And so a lot of people are saying that the September rate cut was already likely. It is now even more likely, John.
Zane Asher, thank you very much.
Now, see, that proves that I was right. I was right. The announcement for May was 147,000 jobs. And it was actually 14,000. They revised May and June down 258,000 jobs. A down revision. Hey, Carmen. A down revision of 258,000 jobs over May and June. I knew companies couldn't be doing that kind of hiring. There's no way. With all that tariff shit going on, they don't know how to price anything. How you going to be hiring like that? I knew it. Let me tell you something else. They announced a couple of days back that the GDP was 3%. No way. No way our GDP is 3%. Hey, Lisa, bullshit is flying. Yeah, you ain't lying. Check this out. Some way. Now, they're saying because of all of the people that were fired in the government, they couldn't get the numbers right. The departments that actually collect the numbers, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that department. Oh, by the way, Trump fired the person in charge after this reading. because, this person actually gathered up all the real data and put that data out there. And, Trump don't like that, Oh, you can't come up in here telling the truth. You got to be crazy. All these people lost their job a few months ago. Right. Yeah. There's no way that could have been right. The biggest part of the job creation over the last couple of months was people that the government had to hire back because the department couldn't function without the people. They needed the people. They made a mistake in firing everybody. So I knew there's no way. This economy is on a thin line right now. It's a razor thin line holding this economy together. And they announced, now remember, the first quarter GDP was negative 0.5. Negative 0.5. Now, a recession, a technical recession, is 2 quarters of negative number. So the first quarter, negative 5. If this quarter we are in, that they just announced, just passed, if this quarter was negative number, they would have had to announce that we're in a recession. We know who in the hell don't want to hear that. We know who been riding Jerome Powell to lower the interest rates. And all of a sudden, the very next quarter, the first quarter, negative 0.5. The very next quarter, that there was this little hiring, no hiring. 14,000 jobs 1 month, 19,000 jobs 1 month, 73,000 a third month. That's the quarter. How the hell GDP go from minus 0.5 all the way up to 3? What? Now, some of that might be the fact that a lot of companies bought up a lot of material ahead of the tariffs. Now, we could throw that in there. That could be part of it. They bought up a lot of stuff, a lot of companies. I sure hate they did it, but they did. They're trying to protect themselves. They bought up a whole bunch of shit before the tariffs kicked in. Could that stuff be working its way through the economy? Could be. A swing from negative 0.5 all the way to 3. Something's stinking there. Something is stinking. Okay? And I mean besides Trump. So, I'm saying this economy is hanging on by a thread. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that right here, right now. Because ain't no way. 73,000 jobs, like old girl said, for an economy to be rolling in okay territory, you got to have 100,000 jobs a month. 100,000 jobs a month. And we just had 3 months of sub 100, 14,000 in May, 19,000 in June. Hey, I knew it. There's something wrong with the GDP number too. Somebody fucking the GDP number up. Hey, guarantee you. Tell you what, save your money, and stock up your shit. 'cause it's some bull crap. This is what you was afraid of? Yeah. Yeah, it's some numbers being cooked. I know with that tariff stuff was going on, I knew they were trying to make it look like the economy was great. And I kept saying, there's something strange. There's a disconnect going on. What's going on? And, hey, something very screwy going on around here, says Helmer Foot. Yeah. Be very, very quiet. There's something screwy going on around here. I'm going to tell you. Hey, man. It is something else. I'm just, you know, I can't wait for the other shoe to drop. You know, I don't want it to be just, you know, a lot of people may get stung if the economy all of a sudden drops off the cliff, but it's something amiss. It is just something wrong. And I'm like, boy, these fools out there, they out there just messing with the numbers. They screwing the numbers up just to make the economy look like it's okay. They don't want people to panic. They do not want to say recession. I'd be willing to bet we are in a technical recession and they not saying nothing about it. They want you and I to keep spending, keep going to work and keep spending. Keep going to work and keep spending. Spend your money. Now, one thing the American people will not do, me and you can, but the typical American cannot stop spending. Can't stop spending. No matter how much it costs, we know the price of stuff ain't came down. The price of nothing ain't came down. Now, maybe the price of eggs, you know, maybe you don't have to, you know, get a loan to buy eggs no more, you know. But I guarantee you the price of a car got to be sky high right now. I haven't been paying any attention because I'm not trying to buy one. But I guarantee you they sky high. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And I dare say you shouldn't either. And when I saw that report today, it was a load off my shoulders because I knew that it wasn't right. I knew it. I was like, I know I ain't crazy. So, pay attention. Hold on to your coins. You know, because there's some bullshit going on. We know that now, okay? The numbers just revealed themselves. We know that now. The job numbers ain't jobbing, okay? And on a lighter note, another coon then showed up. I don't know how many of you may have saw this or paid any attention, but the coons is cooning again. And this one just made me say, what the hell? Check this out, folks.
Come on up. Come on. He's a little shy, but once he gets going, nobody can stop.
Oh, no, don't stop. I'm just proud to be on this team. I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I'm here to serve, and I'm here to serve you. Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can for as long as I can. Thank you very much.
Nobody like.
Hey, Charles, yeah, meat is going up big time. But hey, did this fool just say he don't even know what he doing there? Did that fool just announce he ain't got a clue or what they even doing? I just got my black ass standing here because this white man wanted me here. He needed a ninja up here in front of this camera. And I am a ninja, and I am his ninja. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. He's also a registered sex offender. You know what? You're right. I forgot about that. Lawrence Taylor. He is a sex offender, ain't he? I forgot all about that. Oh, well, now I know. Shit. Well, that makes sense now. Of course, a sex offender would host other sex offenders. Oh, he didn't read the invite. It was a gathering of sex offenders. My goodness. Oh, thank you, Carmen. I forgot about that. Wow. You are absolutely right. I completely forgot about that. Man. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I'm here to serve you, sir. Ain't that something? That MF said, I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's look at it again. Because this is coonery 101.
Come on up. Come on. He's a little shy, but once he gets going, nobody can stop.
Oh, no, that don't stop. I'm just proud to be on this team. I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but I'm here to serve, and I'm here to serve you. Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can for as long as I can. Thank you very much.
Nobody like.
I am proud to be on this team. I don't know why. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing here. I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve you, sir. What in the coonanigans? They sure can find one whenever they need one, huh? They sure can find a coon when they need one. I would have been embarrassed like all get out. Man. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So and of course, that is to distract from all of the other foolishness going on, which can't be distracted from the fudging of the numbers. He fired the head of the Bureau of Labor statistics because they actually pull out the right numbers. That pains you. Yeah, I feel your pain, brother. To see something like that, to see it. I mean, to have a person step up there in front of the camera and literally say what he said. You have got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. And Carmen, you messed me up. I really had forgot that he is a registered sex offender. He is. Man, that's crazy. Man, that must have been, that must have been a gathering of sex offenders. A gala event. Oh, that's right. That must be to commemorate the Golden Ballroom that's about to cost us about $200 million. A $200 million Golden Ballroom. That's just what we need. That's exactly what we need right now. Rip up the back of the damn White House lawn and build a building that's bigger than the White House so it can be a golden ballroom. That's what we need. We gotta have one. We ain't got one. So we sex offenders can gather in style. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make it up. Meanwhile, did anybody hear the other news? Okay, here's the other news. Just a couple of days after the Deputy Attorney General for the United States met with Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted sex offender. Did I say that? Convicted sex offender, which lasted for 2 days. 2 days of meeting. We don't know who he had with him. We don't know if they recorded the meeting. We don't know if they took any transcripts. We don't know if there were any witnesses during the meeting with the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche. Now, first of all, he just fired last week the lead prosecutor on that case. That was Comey's daughter. She was one of the lead prosecutors on that case. Why wasn't she sent in to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell? What are they talking to Ghislaine Maxwell about? What could they be talking to her about? Well, just days later, Ghislaine Maxwell has been moved from a prison in Florida to a cozy little spot in Texas. You heard it, folks. She just got moved out of a prison to a minimum security prison. You know when they say minimum security, that's the guards ain't walking around watching you. That's everybody sitting around watching TV, catching up on the latest goings on, writing their books, chilling out, the conjugal visits, you know, just it's just a halfway house, you know. So now she is not in a actual prison. You know, I guess they'll call it prison, you know. It's called the art of the deal. I think it's more like the flim flam effect. Wouldn't you agree? Now, what could they have been talking to her about? She's moved from prison. Wow. And I wonder if she's gonna be making some announcement here pretty soon that maybe Trump never joined us in any of the reindeer games. You know, I wonder what kind of announcement's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was all me and Jeff. Trump was never there. I never saw him. The pictures that we took was always, he just happened to stop at the same place I was taking a picture. The flim flam effect in full effect. Right in front of your very eyes. Now, if that don't tell you something. Now, you know what? If MAGA ain't going crazy, and I'm gonna spend this weekend checking out MAGA to see how they feel about this, because that's got to be, and the one guy that's really been on his ass, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan been on his ass lately. Mark my words, she's going to end up dead, just like that Jeffrey dude. You know what? You might be right. It's going to be a little harder to explain away this time because, you know, if she doesn't, you know, she's less likely to want to commit suicide. They've already started setting it up. They moved her to a lower level of security. Yeah, but usually, you know, when they kill somebody like that, they call it suicide. Now, being moved to lower security is less of a reason to commit suicide, especially in lower security. You got way less rules. You get, you know, all the visitors you want. You know, you get to almost do what you want to do. Now, could she have an untimely accident? You know. Guess she could. You know, one day when she's walking around, you know, walking around the facility, they'll let Jen Pop do it for him. Child sex offenders aren't very alike. General population, well, she's going from a harder prison to a prison for white collar criminals. Okay, they're putting her in with people like Elizabeth Holmes, if you know who she is. You know, white collar criminals that ain't likely to kill nobody. That's where she's going. There's probably no killers in that prison she's going to. So now again, if her demise were to happen, it'd probably be more like an accident. Exactly. Fewer eyes are going to be on her. Yeah, and you might be right. I am not I am not going to disagree with that. I literally am not going to disagree with you because you could be absolutely right. Just wait and see. See. I tell you one thing, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Okay? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And I tell you what, you know, again, Joe Rogan been tearing this dude's ass up. Every time they come out and say something else stupid, Joe Rogan been killing them. So I'm going to be watching MAGA to see how they feel about this move. Because, let's face it, check this out. Now, Trump a couple days ago, said he was mad at Epstein because he was stealing girls from the spa. Now, the one girl in question right now who literally committed suicide this year. She committed suicide this year. And she was underage when she worked at the spa. Somehow, I don't know the rules for working at a spa. You know, this is, I guess that spa was at Mar-a-Lago, and that's a golf club. So I guess the spa is okay because you can have underage caddies, you know. So maybe that was the case. But she was underage. She worked at the spa. Trump says Jeffrey stole her from his spa. Now, how can you say you don't know what Jeffrey was doing? Yeah, don't it make you wonder? How can you say you did not know what Epstein was doing if he was stealing underage girls from your employment? Somebody make that make sense for me. I ain't know what he was doing, but he was stealing underage girls from my employment. Right. I got no idea what this guy could be up to. I got no idea what this guy could be up to. You know? I mean, he's got this island. He's got this mansion round the corner from me. You know? He loves little girls, just like me. I couldn't imagine what he's up to. And days later from making that statement, Ghislaine Maxwell goes to a minimum security prison. Somebody tell me why a deputy attorney general who runs a department that has a ton of career prosecutors, why would he be meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell and Ghislaine's lawyer? Why wouldn't one of the prosecutors be meeting? When does, now the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, of course, is not going to go because she ain't stupid. She's not going to put herself in that position, And Donald Trump wouldn't put her in that position, but he put Todd Blanche in that position because he's the underling. Hey, Todd, go and talk with Ghislaine, convince her and her lawyer that I was never there. We all know he had the FBI. Now, there was thousands of pages in the files, in the investigation files. They literally had, I believe it was Oh, I should have wrote that down. I think there was at least 700 to 1,000. 700 to 1,000 FBI agents going through and redacting the name of Donald Trump in the files. They was going through trying to find anything that led to Donald Trump in the files and redacting his name. Everywhere in the file, they redacted his name. Isn't that special? If that don't tell you something, nothing will. I'm going to be monitoring MAGA. I'm dying to know what MAGA is going to do with this. Ghislaine is now somewhere in Club Med, chilling, getting her hands and feet done. What? All of a sudden? What? Ooh, I don't think MAGA gonna like this. Can't wait to find out. So, anywho, we'll be paying attention. We'll be paying attention. So, anyhow, along with that, I don't know how Putin's going to feel about this, but one other side note, this guy decided to park 2 nuclear subs off the coast over there in an attempt to counter some dumb shit that was said by the ex-Russian president, Medvedev. Now, I don't know how Putin's going to react to that, but our guy just decided to move 2 nuclear subs and let that get out. That probably wasn't the smartest thing in the world to do, but this is what we got. This is what we got. It's something else. So we'll wait to see what happens with that. Next week, I'm going to get into something else. There's some more of the whites only folks rearing their heads again. And it's getting different, you know. They're really moving on creating white only areas. I'm going to show a few reports next week, and we'll talk about it. Now, I'm kind of mixed on them creating white-only areas and how they're going around the law to do it. But I am absolutely curious about how well that would work. You know, I'm not going to say almost, I want them to create a white-only city. Create one. I want it to be white only. I want to know just how well that experiment will work in 2025 going forward. I would love to know how that works out. Because a lot of people don't understand. Somebody in every society, somebody got to be the ninja. Okay? Remember that. Doesn't matter what society you set up. Somebody gonna have to be the ninja. I want to know, in this all-white society that they set up, who gonna be the ninja? And is that person gonna be happy with that? I have a problem with it. Let the white people be white and enjoy a good cooking. We know they cook with a damn oil like they hear that music. Let them have a honky tonk time. I agree with you 100%, brother. I agree with you 100%. And I'm sure that can was can't. Yeah, we know they can't cook. And nobody like their music. That's funny. But again, my main thing is, you know, I want to see the volunteers. Okay, I want to see who the gardeners gonna be, who the janitors gonna be, right? Excuse me. You know, who gonna work the farms? Didn't mean to do that, but you know, I can't wait. You know, who gonna do all that nasty work? You know. Who gonna be the ninja? That's what I want to know. And when they find out that they are chosen to be the ninja, you know, I want to know if they gonna stay at that white only society. Oh, I knew what you meant, man. We could even call that sarcasm. So anyway, that's gonna be something we're gonna get into next week. I'm gonna show a couple of reports. We're gonna check it out. Interesting stuff. And we also know that they've been recruiting from all over the place, other countries. The Nazis is over here getting in trouble from everywhere because they can't get along with nobody. I can't wait. I want them all to get together and see how they work out. So we'll get into that next week. So be looking for that, along with whatever may happen over the weekend. We know something gonna happen over the weekend. So everybody, y'all hang in there. And I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And we gonna have a good weekend. Especially the way Carmen says, have a great weekend and stay safe. I'll see y'all Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Take it easy.